from the UFC landscape, we welcome Brock Lesnar to the program alongside UFC President Dana White. Fellas, it's great to see you both. Brock, I want to start with you. Again, you were going to make this title defense against Carwin in November. You were then sidelined with a major illness. What happened?
Well, unbeknownst to me, I was just feeling sick, you know, for the longest time throughout my training camp against preparing for Carwin. My camp wasn't going well. I missed almost 3 weeks of training camp. Kept going to the doctor, couldn't find out what the problem was. Finally, it was a Monday, and I said to my trainers, I can't do this fight. I went to the doctor. They diagnosed me with mononucleosis, and I'm like, well, that doesn't sound right to me. I'm pretty sure I had it when I was a kid or something, you know. So I was devastated just to back out on the fight, and then I decided to take a trip and get away up to Canada and do some hunting. I could either stay at home and sit on the couch, you know, and climb the walls, or go to Canada and do something that I would enjoy. So I got up there, and still didn't feel right. My stomach had a lot of severe stomach pain, and one night I woke up and I was in severe shock. I had 104 temperature and felt like I was shot in the guts. And so I went to the hospital in Canada, realized quickly that I had to get out of Canadian healthcare and get down to Bismarck into the United States, where at Med Center 1, and I take my hat off to this doctor there. They diagnosed me with diverticulitis, and at the time, diverticulosis was at the severe case, and I had a rupture of one of my diverticuli, which means I had a hole in my stomach. And so the doctor there put me on antibiotics, put me on pain medication, and wanted for me to heal myself, versus the other side of it was to go in, remove part of my colon, and wear a colostomy bag, and pretty much end my career. And he waited till the 8-hour mark. I take my hat off to the doctors there at Med Center 1 for saving my life and my career. He waited till the 8-hour mark, was prepared for surgery, and I started healing myself. I was in the hospital for 11 days, no food, no water, fed intravenously, lost 40 pounds. Got out of the hospital, went home, decided I wanted a second opinion, went down to the Mayo Clinic in Rochester. Both doctors in Bismarck and at the Mayo Clinic diagnosed and said that I need surgery. I have to have my colon removed, but we can't do it until all the swelling goes down. So I pretty much had it in my mind that I was going to get surgery, and I was going to be out for, I didn't know how long. And so in the meantime, communicating with Dana and everything, and I just didn't have, my answer was I have to have surgery, and I didn't want to. If I could beat the odds, I was going to do everything in my power to do that. And so I had another checkup after the first of the year. I went home, I went back in the gym, I got my weight back up, I put about 30 pounds back on, went back into the doctor January 5th, and a miracle. They were dumbfounded. They couldn't find any signs of any problem in my stomach. It's just a miracle to me. I actually had to go back to the doctor yesterday before I came out here and get another CT scan on my stomach, because I just still can't believe it.
Dana, I want to ask you, I mean, we can see really that pain, really the fear in Brock's face right now telling this story. We listed his accomplishments. Obviously, he is used to aches and used to pains. What then was it like for you to see him going through all of this?
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride. You know, just a couple of phone conversations I had with him when he was in the hospital. You know, a guy, forget about the career side. This guy was looking at a completely different, life, a different quality of life if he would have needed this surgery. And like you said, thank God for these doctors that were involved that did such a great job and held off and didn't give him this surgery. Said, let's take some time, let's see how you heal. And he got into some holistic stuff and changed his diet and did some of those things. And basically, the doctor said, you got a lottery ticket. This is unbelievable. We can't believe that you didn't need surgery.
Brock,
so to see him...
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a miracle.
Brock,
it's a miracle.
Are there any risks then in terms of your future, especially as a fighter, perhaps returning to the octagon?
No, not at all. I've had 3 or 4 different opinions. I've had, you know, colonoscopies done and CT scans. There's literally no sign of anything even existing in there. I don't know what, I believe in, the mind is a powerful thing, and I just, every day, I was put in a position and had to view my life and the world in a different, I got a different take on life, I mean, when you have everything taken away from you and you're laying helplessly in your hospital bed, not sure if I'm going to even get back in the octagon, something that I've grown to just love to do, and this is my life, and so to not have, I've always been in control. I've been in control of my life, and I've been in control of my surroundings, and for me to sit there for 15 or 30 days not having control of anything, let me tell you, I got to thank my wife and my family for sticking by my side, Dana and the UFC and my sponsors. These people, these people put everything on the line for Brock Lesnar, and for them to be sitting here and to be backing me, it makes me feel really good.
It is so different from the pictures we just saw, your wins there over Randy Couture and then Frank Mir. I do want to be clear, you are still the UFC heavyweight champion. So Dana...
Yeah, let's be clear with that. I still am the UFC heavyweight champion.
And I want to leave it to Dana. Dana, he is still the champion, so the title defense will be his. When will we see Brock Lesnar back in the ring doing just that, in the octagon?
Well, because he's been out so long and we were so unsure on what was going to happen, we have a fight in Newark, New Jersey on March 27th, and undefeated Shane Carwin is going to fight the former heavyweight champion Frank Mir. The winner of that fight will be the interim champion and will face Brock Lesnar, this summer. But if anything should happen to either one of them in that fight, we have a fight February 21st in Australia. Nogueira is fighting Velasquez. So worst case scenario, one of those could take the shot at Lesnar, but we're hoping that Carwin or Mir win the fight, come out healthy, and can face Brock, champion versus champion.
I'd pay to see Nogueira face off against Brock, that's for sure. Again, Brock Lesnar, it's wonderful to see you back on your way back to full health. Brock and Dana White, we very much appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.